All right, welcome back to the Supercoach Enough channel. In this video, we're going to do the Game Week 2 review for the 2023-24 Fantasy Premier League. So as you can see, a bit of a disappointing week. 35 points, which was below average. 7,000 ranked, 7 million rather ranked for the game week, and down to about 2.5 mil overall. Um, and really, it was just, I guess, a case of all of our gun picks that we had in week 1. All went and blanked. So had Johnson in goal, supposed to be Turner, but obviously forgot to save the change before lockout. As it turned out, didn't cost me any points. Chilwell, didn't play the full 80 or full 90. I'm still thinking of NRL there, and did concede a couple of goals, so that's fine. Rico Henry, believe he got a clean sheet against Fulham. So that got him 5 points. Stupinan did well, a goal and an assist, a bonus point. Add them up. He was the star for us this week. But then, yeah, the whole midfield, the whole attack blank. So Haaland obviously just got double 90 minutes for my captain. Um, Rashford and Fernandez didn't even get a clean sheet out of it. And Pedro started off the bench, so I could have got an extra point for playing Jackson. But 1 point probably wasn't going to make much difference this week. Um, in terms of making transfers and stuff, I have already gone ahead and made my transfer because Man United looked terrible, and being a Liverpool fan, that makes me very happy. Um, so I've got rid of Rashford. I bought in Emblema. He looks really good. Wanted to get in on him before any more price rises come into play. But if we were going to hit the wildcard button, some options that you could look at including. If we got rid of Johnston, we've got Areola as another $4 million keeper, so we could have two starting $4 million keepers. Obviously, we don't want to waste transfers on bringing Areola in unless we were desperate for 0.5 mil. I would definitely consider that to be an option. In terms of our defence, I think there is a nice option now at 4 million with the injury to. Actually, I'll just go by team. With the injury to Reece James, it looks like Gusto is going to get, a fair bit of game time over the next few weeks, and that's, Chelsea have really nice fixtures. So I definitely would consider bringing him in as a $4 million option. And you can already see like the fact I've downgraded Embuemo means I've got a bit of cash in the bank. But if we look at the defenders in terms of the prices, because it goes by total points now. The Liverpool defense isn't convincing as much as I love Liverpool. Um, and even Alexander Arnold, he's missed out on some of the set pieces to Zoboslai, so he doesn't even sort of hold that value for us. Trippier, same sort of deal. It looks like Tonali's taken over some of the set piece play, so I don't think it's really worth investing big money in the back line. I guess the defense that is looking a bit better than we expected defensively is Spurs. So Dogi is a good option at 4.5. Pedro Porro at 4.9 could be really good too if you're, you're you're missing out on that point one because you're trying to go up to an Emblemo or those type of players. That point one could be the difference that sort of saves you. So he could be a nice option too. But obviously, we don't need to spend big on defense. We've got, we'll definitely chill on a stoop and play every week. And then, if I have these three options to rotate between, as I lose control of my mouse, um, yeah, I'd be more than happy with that. In terms of the midfield, I've already got rid of Rashford, and Embuemo, I think, is the number one target. But obviously, some other great options, not at price, but points, total points. I'd rather Minima over March. I think there's just a bit more consistency about Minima, although March has, scored 3 goals, so we can't begrudge him that. Bailey's a good bit of value, 5.5 if you're looking at that price range. Phil Foden, so I'd sort of be happy to swap out Martinelli for Foden, I think. Looks like with De Bruyne out, he's got a really nice role there in the Man City attack. There will be rotation and stuff, but the fact, we can bank on Man City to score well most weeks means that he's always a chance. I guess if you're looking for a cheap option, Saar 4.5 playing at Tottenham. We've talked about how aggressive and attacking Tottenham will be under Ange. So, here's one sort of super cheap option. The other super cheap option, I think appears at the top of the second page, is Chukwuemekwa. Obviously, I've already got three Chelsea players, so I could get rid of Jackson and bring him in somewhere. But again, I'm pretty happy with my midfield if it was set up like that. But looking at the forwards, because obviously, yeah, Pedro started on the bench, which is a bit concerning. I'll just bring him back. So, we could get rid of him. If you want to triple up on Man City attack with Julian Alvarez, don't hate it. Obviously, I've got the money. I could go with anyone essentially. So Vissa is a nice cheap option, cheaper than Alvarez even. Isak. So now that he's through the Man City fixture, Liverpool, he's every chance to score a goal. Like I said, I'm not confident on their defense at the moment. Brighton and Brentford are probably tougher defenses. But then after that, their draw opens right up. So if you want to get on before his price gets away, it probably won't get away too far this week, but it could very quickly get out of hand. So, you could bring in Isak this week like that. Like I said, Hugo Visser if you want to back in the double up at Brentford. But yeah, so it cost me quite a few points in trades, but would have a bit of money in the bank too, which is nice. Um, and yeah, there's not really many upgrades really available. If you think about the big hitters like Harry Kane's out, De Bruyne is injured long term, you know, we could try and make room for Mo Salah with a couple of those cheaper options, but I don't mind having this nice balance of cash through the front eight, and then you can obviously rotate as needed when teams, like might come up against Man City or players get injured, like Madison, for example, could be out a week. So it could be really handy as well without having to go full wildcard. It also gives the option of an early bench boost if that's your thing, but that's probably not for me. So obviously, I'm not going to hit the wild card, but I just wanted to go through and talk about some options if you were to do so. Like I said, it's not major panic at the moment. I guess I was just always skeptical on the Rashford pick, and it sort of doesn't look great when you've got the 2.9 mil there. But when I realised that the big hitters that we would spend that extra money on probably aren't doing the job, other than Haaland, of course. It's probably okay to have that money in the bank. We can, you know, we don't necessarily have to get on every price rise. It gives us that bit of a cushion in future weeks. So, you know, uh, uh, keep the money in the bank. It's like Supercoach. You can downgrade one week and then upgrade the next week, sort of thing. With those free transfers, it's not going to cost us any points, and we'll be okay. But in terms of the team this week, if we pick the team, so I've got Haaland captain again. Obviously, Jackson playing against Luton was going to get a start, even if Pedro was looking like he was starting. He may still come in if Madison is missing, obviously. Um, but yeah, other than that, there's not too many changes. Johnston against Brentford will back in over Turner against Man U, although Man U haven't been fantastic. But this could be the week that Fernandez does a bit, and we don't want to sort of negate that with our goalkeeper pick. And saying that, I've got Johnston against Mbuemo, so it's just one of those weeks where that doesn't quite line up. But yeah, just before we wrap up as well, I have set up a league. So given the amount of people that have sort of engaged, I thought, why not? Let's have a look. So if we go to invite friends, So got the league code here. So 54NWDP. I'm actually going to copy that link and I'll add it in the description below this video and I guess future videos. So if you want to join in the league, we can compare how we're going. It's a bit of fun. Um, yeah, there you go. It's also linked there. But that's for email. I'll put this in the description. Yeah, so I just wanted to promote that. I believe it will go back from game week 1, 2. So even though we're starting from game week 3, essentially, um, it will rank us from the start of the year. So if you started back then, you'll get credit for your great start. If you're only just starting, um, given that I didn't score much this week, how many was it again? 35. You can catch up to me pretty quick. So I wouldn't stress too much about that. But yeah, as always, if you've got any thoughts or questions, feel free to comment below. I know I was a bit slack over the weekend. Or I say slack, I was actually quite busy with life. But given the amount of engagement in these videos, I will try to keep on top of it a bit more. Um, Remember, like the video if you are enjoying the content. Subscribe to the channel for more FPL content. There's going to be NFL fantasy content coming. There's also, a bit of NRL stuff still going with a couple of weeks left of the season. But other than that, thanks for watching as always, and I'll catch you in the next one.